not going to do that.
That's weird.
Just don't touch your bass.
Okay. Try not to.
Look at that. He's blushing, for God's sake.
Oh, my God. I've had a nickel for every time my parents told me that. And your vision's still great. All right, gentlemen, welcome to episode 5 of the Bourbon Boys. Kurt, thank you for hosting us tonight.
Yeah, you bet.
Good to be here, guys. We got the full gang. David, welcome.
Hey, man.
And Derek, as always.
Yo.
Thanks for taking care of the audio visuals.
You don't want to see the visuals.
All right, we'll stick with the audio.
Yeah. Let's stick with audio.
Yeah, we'll stick with that. All right. Hope everybody had a good week. Wrapping up this week. Wanted to reflect back to the tail end of episode 4. We talked about national parks and driving with family and friends, doing some cool sightseeing and memory making. And along that journey, we talked about a yellow Volkswagen bus that's in David's garage, or the shell of a yellow
it's a shell
Volkswagen.
right now. Yeah.
So tell us a little story how that thing came to be.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned when I turned 50, Sarah surprised me with the bus, and it is a 1977 Volkswagen camper. Westphalia model, so it's got the pop top and it'll sleep 4 people and it's got a refrigerator and all that fun stuff. But always wanted one. I've been a Volkswagen Porsche air-cooled guy for quite a long time, and my friend Bob had this one sitting around, and Sarah was able to pry it out of his hands. So
that was awesome.
Yeah, it's been, haven't done a lot with it, just having moved to a new house. We're starting some remodeling, but hope to get into it pretty soon. But yeah, it's being a bus. The thing that gets me pretty pumped is being able to, load the family in there, grab one of the daughters, and go on a camping trip, and explore and get adventurous. So,
What shape was it in when you got it?
it had been to a fella actually here in Mooresville who did a bunch of metal work on it, had some rust. Now it just needs kind of surface rust. It's got a brand new motor. I got to put the motor back in it and then rebuild some of the cabinets and the lamination. Start to pull back on some of those. So we'll get it going.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do you have a history with Volkswagen buses?
Yeah, not with buses, but definitely with
Be
Volkswagens.
careful, Alton.
Hey, I was just going to ask about the disco, the lighting scheme you're going
That
with.
might not be a story we want to hear.
No, it's interesting. My dad, when I was little, he had a 1965 Porsche 356, which was an air-cooled car. And then I also had my Aunt Diane had a Beetle that was air-cooled. And so I just kind of got into those cars really early. And then I think my second car when I was 17 was a 1973 Volkswagen Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which was
What color?
it was white. It was only in the U.S.
Okay.
for 2 years. They made it for 73, 74. In the U.S., they basically said, this thing's a death trap. It's out of here.
That's what I say. Yeah, this is a bad idea.
Very bad idea, but super
it's
cool,
awesome.
super cool car.
That was the one that was completely angular. Like,
Yeah.
nothing round on it.
Yeah,
It
and
was
you
just
could
like
you could
stamped out metal.
fold the windshield down, exactly stamped out metal. Yeah, the windshield would fold down, doors would come off of it, but it'd go
fantastic.
anywhere.
It's like a Jeep.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. Really
That is
was.
fantastic.
So yeah,
I'm not
so that-
familiar with it.
Do you remember the if you've seen any old World War II movie, the
Yeah.
Nazis, the Jeep they used,
Yeah.
that was a Kubelwagen.
Okay.
And that's essentially what the thing was modeled
Okay.
off after.
Cool.
So
That's
yeah.
very cool.
So this is a passion of yours.
Oh yeah.
One of the
For a long
Ps.
time. Yes, it is a passion of mine. Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
again, it's kind of rooted in childhood memories of hanging out with my dad every Sunday. He would take me and my sister to the 7-Eleven for ice cream sandwiches, and it was always in that car. And so I can get in a Volkswagen or a Porsche, and the smell it just takes me back to a bunch of different memories.
That's cool.
Really quickly.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's another P.
Yeah.
That's
Porsche.
that's another P.
Yeah,
Porsche.
yeah.
There we go. Definitely a passion point for me.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Love it.
So with passion being a topic now, we've gotten started with actually making a pour. So
Yes.
we've got a few good trials tonight. Let's see, we've got Wild Turkey Rare Breed, we've got Bulleit, and we've got Angel's Envy. So
All right.
let's start with a Bulleit.
Sounds good.
All right.
So I've got Bulleit. And if you guys want to start pouring around, I'll give you a little backstory on Bulleit. Bulleit is actually, it's funny. Everyone claims to be the first bourbon. And this is claiming to be one of the first bourbons. It goes back about 150 years. And there was this tavern keeper in Louisville, Kentucky. And his name was Augustus Bulleit. Bulleit. I think it's often misspelled. But Augustus created this mash blend where he was creating bourbon and became this family history of building out this bourbon. And then he went on a road trip and never returned. So he disappeared. And the story ends there with Augustus. But his great-great-grandson, Thomas Bulleit, quit his job as a lawyer in 1987, to start it back up. So he got a hold of some of the bourbon and figured out the mash bill and took a run at it. So it is in Kentucky. It's distilled at the Bulleit Distilling Company, and it's got a high rye in it. So I think as you start to taste it, you'll probably get a little bit of that bite. So if you guys want to taste it, let me know what you think. This one's coming in at 90 proof. The mash bill is 68% corn, 28% rye, and 4% malted barley. And they've got 4 products being distilled. They have what we're tasting tonight is the straight bourbon. They've got a 10-year, which is 91 proof. They've got a barrel strength, which is somewhere between 120 and 125 proof.
Boom.
So that will drive a Porsche.
That will drive a Porsche.
But this one's coming in at 90 proof, and it's $30 a bottle, which is really easy to get a hold of. It's got this old medicine bottle look to it from like an apothecary type store that you would
and kind of an old medicine taste.
Nice.
I'm really curious. I'm really curious how you're going to like this one, Derek, because I know you're not a huge rye fan.
Yeah, and this one is in my cabinet, and it's one of the first bourbons that I tried, and I remember the feel of it, the spice, the burn. On the nose, it's got this sweet, oaky, spicy, taste to it. I'm taking it with one rock, and the taste. I'm curious what you guys taste, but when I taste it, I get maple, get a little bit of oak, and another kind of baking spice. I'm not sure if it's in that clove, nutmeg, cinnamon space.
Get a lot of oak.
You get a lot of oak
out of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
David, what do you got?
How long is it in the barrel? Did you say, Derek?
I don't know about that. I didn't pick that up. Didn't pick that up. I'm guessing that minimum of 5 or 6.
Okay. Yeah, definitely oaky. Definitely oaky and spice.
What do you think, Kurt?
Yeah, I almost feel like there's a burnt taste to it for me, but I don't know what the char is in the barrel that they use, but
yeah, that's not listed.
Yeah,
but we can certainly figure it out and ask them.
It's a lot smoother for me than what I was anticipating it to be because of the rye.
Yeah,
the finish is long.
Yeah,
it's and then some of the reviews I read said that you get like this long, full toffee taste. I don't get the toffee.
I don't get the toffee, but it is a nice long finish.
Yeah,
and it is a spicy taste, a lot of flavor to it.
Yeah,
so
yep, and I get the spice after. I don't get it on the first sip. I don't get it on the second sip. It's kind of like it's after I swallow it. It is then I get the spice. Then I get the tingle on the tongue.
Right. And what was the mash again? 60?
So this is 68 corn, 28 rye, 4 malted barley.
So
yeah, it's that rye.
So it's that rye.
That's also a pretty low barley number.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what that brings.
Yeah,
to
I was just expecting something really different.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe one of the higher ryes that we've tasted so far. But it's not. I wouldn't think of this as being a rye.
No.
But they do have a standalone Bulleit rye.
Right.
Which is you're
Yeah.
going to get a lot more of that rye spice.
I think the warmth of it, right? Just it does linger, right?
Yeah.
That's what I.
Yep. Interesting cultural thing, in keeping with cars. Last year was the 50th anniversary of the Steve McQueen movie Bulleit.
Yeah.
And so I did a little bit of research on that. San Francisco has made this Bulleit its drink of the city. So they have this event where people gather, and it's classic cars. His was a 68 Mustang GT fastback. In
of course
it's in that Highland green, which was hard to find, and still reminiscent of that time. And recently, Gas Monkey Garage reshot the scene
for Chad McQueen, Steve McQueen's son.
So in honor of the 50th, the car had gone missing for quite some time, so they couldn't get their hands on that car.
Right.
They found an old one, built it so it could actually handle all the jumps and all the pounding it took back in '68. And they updated the chase car to a Challenger Scat Pack.
That's right.
Yep. So they did it not shot for shot, but it's a good 8-minute video if you watch it on YouTube. They did a really good job recreating that feel, and at the end, Chad drives it off into the distance.
Yep.
Kind of a salute to his dad.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I heard an interesting story about Bulleit. If you look at the bottle, so the label is actually crooked.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if this is lore or if this is a true story, and I don't know if it was. Is it Augustus? So I don't know if it was him or if
50 years ago, 1830.
So maybe it was, but he could never get the label to go on the bottle straight, and that just became somewhat of an icon for the brand, I guess. So every Bulleit bottle of bourbon, the label is actually on the bottle crooked.
I like it. I think it's a great bourbon for $30.
Yeah, you can't beat the price.
I think it's a great taste.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to smash the bottle after.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to
Or shoot it.
Or shoot it.
Or shoot it. It is a great looking
I
bottle.
like it.
All right. I think that's a winner there.
Yeah.
So tell you what, why don't we take a quick break and we'll come back and see what's next on the list.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
All right, we're back, gentlemen. Tell you what do we go to next?
Some of us are.
Some of us are. Some of us are scrambling. What do you guys want? Angel's Envy or Rare Breed? Kratt, make the call.
Angel's Envy.
All right.
Because Kurt's dying to try it.
Kurt is dying to try it, and we are all here for Kurt.
Because you really care,
That's right.
Dave.
All right, I'll let you start pouring it up.
I do care, Kurt.
Did a little digging into the backdrop of Angel's Envy. So I'll start off with the mash bill, 72% corn. So what do we expect?
Sweet.
I'm gonna go sweet.
A little sweeter, 18% rye and 10% malted barley. I saw a couple articles where, in reference to that mash bill, or those in that very close range, a lot of reference to the traditional bourbon mash bill. So I guess anything in that range is considered traditional, and they're doing some fine nuancing to the recipe to kind of make it customized or whatever. So another learning for us there. It's very kind of a golden, more so than an amber look.
Mm-hmm.
If you see it, it's pretty clear. Golden. Interesting part of Angel's Envy, it's typically aged 4 to 6 years in the barrels.
Mm-hmm.
Their twist is that for the last 6 months or so, it's aged in a ruby port cask.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the slick part of that.
And a ruby port?
Yep.
Oh.
Cask.
So, yeah. So
Okay.
we should be picking up some of the fruit flavor potentially from that.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. So we'll try that. Then when it is bottled, it is batched 8 to 12 barrels. So a small batch bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to trying that. So I'm going to pour some while you guys give it a try.
Oh, whoa. That bottle has a tramp stamp on the back of it.
It's honest to God. Seriously, where the hell are you from?
Well, you know exactly where I'm from.
You take the beauty out of everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is a tramp stamp.
It
Look
is
at
not a tramp
Well, I
stamp.
don't know where you grew up. That's
That-
a tramp stamp where I come
Okay,
from.
if that was a tramp stamp, it would be a totally different. Like those wings would be spread.
Show me yours, Kurt.
Dude, I don't know.
Show me
I don't know what kind of girls you dated, Kurt. But holy cow!
Oh, my
All right, let's
goodness.
get back to the bourbon. What's the
So, for those of you who can't see the bottle,
There's a tramp stamp on the back.
go get one right
there's
now?
like,
You
a,
always
is
have
it
to
is that
go there.
etched in?
No.
No,
No.
It's like a graphic silk screen on the bottle
Yeah.
of angel wings.
It's a
Yeah.
beautiful bottle, though.
It's a really good looking bottle.
it is.
It's got a pretty sleek look.
It is. If you just put a little angel head on top, you'd have a little Christmas ornament.
There you go. Screw the tree.
Hey,
Screw the tree.
Merry Christmas.
Could make a tree topper out of that.
So maple vanilla. What do you guys think in the nose?
So I will tell you, when I took a
Mhm.
first kind of smell of it, I immediately was like, kind of smells like red wine a little bit, which probably is the
I don't
port.
get that at all.
No.
Well, of course you don't. You probably smell.
I don't get that at all.
You probably smell Parmesan cheese like the rest of these
Hey.
dudes. No, I did. I
Did you?
smelled a little bit of that, and maybe that's the port coming out, right? So
I could definitely taste the port. I mean, the fruit.
yeah, you can
kind of
taste
fruit.
it. Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
can totally taste it.
Yeah. I kind of got like a maple and vanilla on the nose, but then on the drinking, definitely it's like a creamy vanilla. It's really
Like a
well,
maybe a little custard taste, maybe.
Yeah.
It's really smooth.
It
It's
is
very
super
sweet.
smooth.
very smooth,
Very sweet.
What was the corn? How much corn?
72.
Yeah.
Yeah, very sweet, very smooth.
Be a good popsicle.
Yeah, nice long finish.
Yep, I like it.
So here's here's
No,
a little
no spice though. I don't have
No.
any. I don't have any bite.
nope.
No, but
Kinda
there's
want- I kinda
really
want a
low
little
rye.
bit of it.
So here's a little fun fact for your friends at the bar. So we've talked about it before. The Angels share, the Angels portion is the last. It was the 5% of the
Mm-hmm.
spirit that's lost during the barrel process.
Yep.
So the master distiller in this case was a gentleman by the name of Lincoln Henderson, who had a long career, but he was the one who wanted to try the port finishing of the bourbon.
Okay.
So he did it, and as they were finishing up the first few batches, during one of his tastings, he looked at the gang and kind of said, "We finally got something that's a better deal than what the Angels got."
Mm.
Oh,
So that's the name.
That's the name Angels Envy.
Angels Envy. We got
I like
something
that.
better than the Angels got.
That's cool.
Smart. I like it.
yeah.
Good
What's
job, Lincoln.
What's the proof on that? You may have said it, but I.
About 86, I think, 86 and a half.
Okay.
Yep.
So it gives it a little bit more of a maybe a full taste versus that high alcohol, high evaporation
Yeah,
with a lower proof like that.
it's good though. It for me, it doesn't linger like the Bulleit did. So I mean, the Bulleit really sat
Yeah, it hung in
on
there
my
with you for a
palate and
while.
it hung
Right.
on for a while. This dissipates a lot quicker, but super easy to drink.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah, this is super smooth. I wonder if for some folks who really like the bite or the spice in it, this might be too. It's not bland at all because it's very sweet and
Mhm.
tasty, but it's not a real strong taste.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't punch you, right?
Not at all.
And to me, I think it was maybe episode 2 where we talked about for first-time bourbon drinkers.
Right.
This may be a good one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yep.
You know,
Actually, I disagree.
of course you would. I mean, Kurt, you're looking at that bottle. That is a tramp stamp.
Okay, Dave, I'll let you go with it. All
All
right.
right, good.
I just think it's a beautiful bottle.
It is. It's
Smuggled from Wisconsin in my suitcase.
Mm-hmm. And I saw it this afternoon on the shelves in Mooresville.
Of course you did, because I got right. It's like we keep talking about
Oh,
it, so I'm
no,
like,
that's
I'm
how it
bringing it
works.
home, and then I bring it home, and you guys see it. So
So start bringing home Blanton's and other things.
I think
Nope, go ahead.
No,
You take it.
So what I just noticed though is the bottles are actually numbered. So this is batch number 63Q and bottle number 1466, and it has a slot for being uncorked. So we have to write that in.
Oh, very cool.
Not bad. Nice
Put
little
it-
novelty.
I've
Yeah.
never seen that before.
Yeah. Well, right on all our Christmas ornaments.
Baby's first Christmas.
Oh, what a
going
Christmas!
back to the nose, I can't smell anything on it. Like I don't know. I'm just not. I like the taste of it. I think it's, to David's point, it's a great probably introductory bourbon because it doesn't, even just as you're bringing it towards your mouth, you don't have that.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna black out after this thing? I just don't get a lot of that high alcohol, high
Yeah.
octane.
No, but I can smell the maple,
smell of
or almost
Mhm.
like a brown sugar
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you don't get that big bite in the first taste, you're probably not going to smell it either, right? And it definitely, I'm kind of with you. Get a little bit of maple, and that's about it.
Mm.
Yeah. And very smooth. I think about a $50 price point.
Yeah, it was 51,
Okay.
51.99, I think.
Yeah.
It's the bottle.
And readily available.
Shelf was stocked in Wisconsin, I can tell you.
Here it's kind of hit or miss.
Okay.
I mean, the guys at the store here this afternoon were bragging about the fact that they had it.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
They have I think it's an annual or seasonal, just by the nature of the cycle. But I think in November timeframe, they typically release a cask strength
Mm.
that's a little harder to get.
Okay.
So that may be something we keep our eyes out.
I will be up there in December. I will grab some if I can.
All right.
Now, I've seen a few other brands go with a cask finish too. Have we tried any of those? Like I know Jefferson's has like a finished at sea and a port
Yep.
cask. Oh, David's
Yeah.
pointing to Rare Breed. That's
Ah.
that's a
So
cask finish.
it
too?
is not cut with water at all.
Yep.
So it comes right out of the barrel.
Huh. Okay.
Okay, so educate me here because I don't know what that means. So
You want to
which
jump
part?
into it? I mean, the essence of it is there's two times that they adjust the proof or proof of the bottle. It's when it's taken after distilling and they're putting it in the barrel. They'll
Okay.
sometimes cut it with water there.
Got
and
it.
then when they're pulling it out before bottling, that's the other way they adjust
Okay.
the proof. As he talks about Rare Breed, it looks like he's going to talk about they skip one of those steps.
got it.
So
Okay.
you want
Okay.
to go ahead and transition to that?
Yeah. Before we go off of Angels, are they independently owned? Are they owned by a larger?
They were purchased a few years ago by the Bacardi Limited company.
Okay.
So it was
Ah.
family owned. I don't know the exact date until about 2015 or 2016 or so.
Hmm.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's
part
a
of the
bummer.
part
Mhm.
of the Bacardi Limited. So
I like the story behind it, and going back to I think as episode 1, you had one of the first samples out of a barrel at
Mhm.
Woodford.
yep. The Bourbon Thief.
Yeah.
The Bourbon
Yeah.
Thief.
The Bourbon Thief.
Yeah.
Kurt,
So I
Kurt,
keep
has,
trying to-
no, Kurt
I
has
keep-
no idea what we're talking about.
No,
I don't.
I keep trying to get
I'll
my
just shut my
nickname to
mic
be
off.
the Bourbon Thief.
Oh wait,
but
I can't.
nobody's buying into that. So if you're looking for a nickname for me, it's Bourbon Thief.
We got another
You played it
nickname
well.
for you,
You played it well.
Bozo.
That one I have heard.
Yeah, for sure. Alton.
I think your wife's got a few names for you too.
You'll be glad to share. Just get on the phone.
Yeah. So do we want to talk about a little Rare Breed?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I know
Let's
we talked about
do it.
the Bulleit car and other car things, and kind of along those same lines with rarity and finding the new and different. So this particular bourbon we're going to talk about is distilled by Wild Turkey, aka the Kickin' Chicken, Rare Breed. And so a little history on Wild Turkey. They started in 1869 by the Rippey brothers in Lawrenceville, Kentucky. They then sold in 1952, and of course, as we've all learned in this industry, lots of mergers, acquisitions, sell-offs, consolidation, so on and so forth. The Campari Group out of Italy owns them now, and they produce all kinds of different types of bourbon. But the interesting thing about Wild Turkey itself is that they're still kind of managed by some very traditional Kentucky distillers, and frankly, well, not frankly, they are.
That's the Russells.
Yeah, it's the
Right?
Russells, and
Yeah.
they're
It
the
is
only. They're the
Jimmy
only.
and Eddie.
There we
Yeah.
go. They
Stamp-
show up in every episode.
They seem
do.
to, right?
the only father and son distilling team.
Masters.
Masters,
Both
sorry.
masters
Yep.
in the world.
Yep.
As of 2015. That may have changed since then, but
Do you want to do this one, Kurt? Or do you want me
no,
to?
that's okay, Dave. Go ahead.
Okay.
You got it.
So a little background on Rare Breed. First released in 1991. Since then, there's only been 10 other releases, hence the Rare Bird / Rare Breed. It is known as a powerhouse blend, so a lot of younger distillers will take different blends, a 6 and an 8, until their own bourbon has been distilled and kind of go with the blend approach. What Jimmy did here is take a 6, 8, and a 12, and so the 12 gives you a little bit more of that oaky flavor because it's been sitting on the wood a little bit longer.
Yep.
He traditionally likes that, but somehow or another figures out exactly when he needs to pull the bourbon out of the barrel to keep it from getting too woody, if you will. So with Rare Breed, it was really a response to Jim Beam's introduction of Booker's, which came out in 1998. The big difference here is that this blend has a 12-year, whereas Booker's is just a 6 and an 8. So it's definitely it kind of hits you like a brick when you taste it. It definitely pops right out at you, and because of that, it's been used a fair amount in cocktails so that you can still pull together the bourbon flavor and it's not overpowered with whatever you're mixing it with. But I've had it straight. I tend to like stuff that's a little bit spicy, and this has definitely got that.
Yeah.
When you look at the mash bill, it's 75 corn, so it's got the sweet piece to it. It's also 13% rye and then 12 barley. The big thing is that it's not cut back by water at all, so it's full cask strength.
Wow.
So
I'm smelling toffee ish.
Yeah, good call, good one. Yep.
Okay. Maybe
Anybody
I just
else?
can't smell anything tonight. I don't know.
I think you need to check your smeller.
Yeah, maybe it's the allergies.
Well, your eyes bulged after that first drink. You might have burned something out over there.
Was that the brick? The brick hit you?
That was when you said brickhead. Yeah, I was like, well, I'm gonna try it,
Yeah.
and it did. It is a very full. I think it is of the ones we've had so far, maybe the fullest, like complete round, steady, consistent from the first sip till the finish. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good. I wouldn't say it's like.
I don't like it.
It doesn't overpower you, but that will wake you up.
Yeah, it's a man's bourbon.
Then I'm okay with that, but I don't
Okay.
like it.
Yeah, really?
Nope.
Like too full.
I don't. It has like the aftertaste for me doesn't taste good to me.
What do you?
I'm seriously not making this.
No, I know
this
seriously,
stuff up.
but in the finish, what do you tasting in the finish?
Like I don't want to describe it like this, but it almost had like a hint of rustiness to it for me.
That could be the.
It does have metallic.
Yeah.
I do
So
get a
I
metallic
just
taste.
Ooh, metallic. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that, but I like that.
Yeah. So let's just run through some of the specs on this. So the color for you guys that can't see, it's kind of a rich copper.
Very rich. Yeah.
We've
metal.
talked a little bit about the. Jeez. We talked a little bit about the nose. So definitely toffee. I think you hit on early, Kurt.
I'm getting good at this.
Brown sugar, oak char.
Ah.
The taste is definitely sweet and spicy. Probably, I don't know. For me, the spice definitely cuts through, but the sweetness of it,
For sure.
creamy vanilla, honey, caramel.
Let me try it again.
Try it again.
I kind of got like a tobacco undertones.
Yep.
And having been a fan of tobacco in my younger years, I kind of like that.
Yeah. So, Kurt, what you may be tasting
I still
some of
don't
that.
like it.
What you may be tasting in some of the finish is a little bit of black pepper, maybe kind of leathery, clove.
The pepper, I can kind of.
Yeah.
I am on the second taste. I'm feeling it, but still not feeling it.
Okay. Well, keep
Sorry,
drinking.
guys.
Keep drinking. No,
Keep drinking.
Yeah.
Just keep
Give me something I like.
I mean,
Why should I keep drinking something I don't
And
like?
Did you go over the proof? It is a strong drink.
It's
like
116.8. So
Holy crap!
That's
Yeah.
another thing from the small batch single barrel is you get the 0.8 in that rather than it's 116 proof. That's it. They're a little more precise in that.
Okay.
I'm feeling the heat. Like I can feel the heat from it.
the very long finish.
Yeah, so it sits and it kind of raises up into my.
Yeah, your chrome dome's glistening now too.
You think so? That's stress, David. That is not due to the bourbon. You're stressing me out.
The finish is definitely for me. This is like a cold winter's night kind of bourbon.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's a good call.
It goes. You can feel it in your core.
Yeah,
for sure.
Ready for the fire
pit. So
Fire pit bourbon right
fire
there.
pit bourbon.
yeah, no, I think there's something to that, right? And it's like a cold beer on a summer day, right? Is good.
Yep.
And I'm wondering if some of these actually would taste different depending on the time of the year. So if I'm sitting up on the ski slopes, right?
Yeah.
After a long day, like that actually might taste really good to me because of the heat from it, but not sure about the metals, man. Still,
Metals, really?
Yeah, well, I'm not the
I'm not
only
getting
one.
that. I'm not getting that. This is
I
one.
I got that medal.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Derek.
I can
Elton,
definitely.
you always agree with David, so
because he's always right.
whatever.
Thank you, Alton.
Thanks for the ride.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
a
not
long
what he
walk.
said when you weren't here 2 weeks ago.
That's
That's
awesome.
all right.
So this is one too. As we talked about different bourbons, like Angel's Envy, good starter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Really smooth. This is one if you're looking for a gift for somebody or some that likes bourbon
Mhm.
and you're not sure where they're at on the scale, but you know they drink a lot of it. This is a pretty safe bet to say if you drink a lot, you're going to like it. If you haven't tried it, you should. So I would put the
Yeah.
Rare Breed on the list of.
Yeah.
How much is that a bottle? Depending on how much I like them.
Yeah, exactly. I want to say it's in the $50 range.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think I might have picked this one for maybe just under 50, like 45.
Okay.
It
So-
doesn't include a tramp stamp, though, so...
It does not include a tram. It's
No,
got a-
you would never find a
It's
tramp
got a
stamp
very
on
aggressive looking turkey on it, though.
Wild turkey.
That'd
This-
be the kickin' chicken.
That would be
The
the
kickin' chicken. I like that. That should be a bourbon right there, kickin' chicken.
Well, when you said like that's a fire pit, bourbon, I could see someone walking up to a fire pit, group of people,
Yeah.
and breaking that out and having this long conversation
Yeah.
just about the taste.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't
Because I
believe
think
you
it
don't
would
like this.
surprise you.
Kurt. It is. I mean, it is peppery. There's no doubt. And I think maybe that's the metallic you're tasting is the pepper. But
Could be.
I mean, this is one I go back to our buddy Shannon, who was with us at Woodford Reserve when she first tasted it, and her face turned inside out.
Yep.
Her head would pop off her body with this
Oh
one.
yeah, she would be. She's already done with it, but she's really wouldn't.
Did you just
Yeah.
call Shannon a buddy?
She is a buddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's talk about rarity. I'm gonna go back to the Volkswagen bus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So we're talking about the rarity of something like that and the appreciation of something that takes so long to pull together. What's your time frame?
Oh man, don't do that to me, Derek.
Yeah.
Wow.
If let's do
Sarah just
I'm
leaned
gonna
in.
create. I'm gonna create the Gantt chart on that
well,
one.
let's start with
Tuesday.
if money
Tuesday.
if money and time barriers were removed, how
Or a
how
job.
much, how much time do you think? Well, that's it. Like if you had all the time and all the money,
Yeah.
meaning remove all the barriers,
and I'm doing all the work
and you're
myself.
doing all the work yourself. What do you? What are you looking
Oh gosh, if I was doing, I mean, it's not like one of those car shows where we've got 36 hours to remodel this.
at? Right.
I'm going to say I could probably get it done in 4 months.
Okay.
Ah.
And that again, that's like full time, no job, lots of money,
Yeah,
doing all the work myself.
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adding job and adding money to the factor.
So you're decomping this, aren't you? Slowly. How much did Sarah pay you?
2041.
I promise not to tell her. I
Yeah.
promise not to tell her. No, but like
That is probably
for
it's
you,
3 or 4
and it's not to
years.
rush
I mean,
you.
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel rushed.
No,
but
no.
like, do you have something in mind where by this time, at a good pace, consistent?
I would love to have it done in 3 years.
Okay.
What if the three of us helped you?
It's kind of a
Four.
solo. It's
4
kind
years.
of yeah. The last year to undo all the shit Kurt did wrong.
Hey.
No, if for
That
me,
would be the nicest looking inside.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
So here's the thing. For me, when it comes to working on those things, I've got one buddy who's kind
I'd
of
be
my
like, "What's this nut for?"
yeah.
Optional.
I've got one buddy who is kind of my wrenching partner,
Yeah.
and we kind of we know how each other thinks on these kinds of things, and so we work really well together.
Who's that?
Peter Brown.
PB.
Shout PB.
PB.
Yeah. He'll
Shout
never listen
PB.
to this because he doesn't drink and he thinks, anyways.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But shout PB.
Yeah, shout PB. But
a P
anyways,
word.
I think
Don't
The-
put him on the shirt.
the thing that I do enjoy though is when people come and just hang out and ask the questions and are interested and want to know how things work, and we'll drink a beer and just kind of keep me company while
Yeah.
I'm working on
So I'm not a car guy. So question
Yeah.
for you, because trying to relate it to things that I enjoy, like woodworking.
Mhm.
Usually in woodworking, which you do as well,
Yeah.
you can get to a stage in a project where you see progress.
Right.
When you got an engine torn apart and you're putting the carburetor back together, is that like the same level of satisfaction when you're get it back together, but you can't actually test it because the engine's in 1,000 pieces?
It's definitely different. I mean, in my mind, woodworking, you're taking a raw material that looks like a tree and turning it into some kind of functional item. With cars, for me, it's about problem solving. So if the engine's not running well, it's about digging in and figuring out why. Which is a lot of what the four of us do professionally, but there's no timeline or budget attached to it, right? And so for me,
telling you you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, there's that too.
If you need it, call us.
That's right.
You don't have timelines
I
or
like
budgets.
Cars.
I mean, when it comes to cars, yes, there's definitely a budget, but from a timeline perspective, to me, it's my stress release, and so
That's good.
I don't care.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. I thought you were saying in work you have no timelines or
Oh
budgets.
no, that's all I have at work. But no, it's different. It's different than woodworking. I think in woodworking, it's more about creating.
Yeah.
Whereas, to me, with the car stuff, it's always about the before and the after, right?
Okay.
Like, recreating almost. So.
I can see, or like I said, I'm not a car guy, so I bet there's a tremendous amount of satisfaction when you fire it up.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, even if you're firing it without the seats in it, just to say, oh my God, that
Lots
thing
of
was in
high
1,000
fives.
pieces, and I put it back together, and that machine is
Yeah.
working
So you
because of me.
You want to be a car guy.
I do want to be a car guy.
Yeah, well,
My
you need
dad
to-
tried to help me be a car guy, but
We need to work on that because I have a space for you to store cars and have fun. So,
all right. Well, my son Sam
I
is
know,
all up
I
on
know.
it. So
all right,
Porsche, here we come.
here we go. I like it. I like it. So who, Derek? You've got an air cooled project.
Yeah, we do. We've got a 78 Super Beetle convertible.
Sweet.
Yep. And as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking, I believe the expectation is shorter than 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm close to it. This summer we did, all new brake lines and fuel lines. It needs some body work, and I think I want to get it back to perfect, but it doesn't need to be perfect. It's not going to be a show car.
Yep.
And it's given me the good space to just put the music on.
Yeah.
You throw on some Grateful Dead. You
Yeah.
get on the creeper. You
Yep.
roll onto the thing and just get lost for hours.
Yeah. Easy to do.
Yeah. But what's interesting is I was expecting, kind of in the rare breed theme, I was expecting it was going to be hard to find parts.
Yeah, not so much.
No, and I think the internet has made it so much easier to just instantly, within days,
Oh yeah.
get access to, rebuilds or, OEM stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy.
Yeah,
It's
and
easy.
they made so many of those cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. That they needed the parts out there.
That's cool.
So yeah.
I
Very
don't know.
cool. Well, all right, we started the clock. You got 2 years now. We should-
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
You're welcome, Sarah.
And I think you need to call it Angel's Envy when you're done.
And put a
Yeah,
tramp
maybe.
stamp on it.
And I put a
Put a
tramp
tramp
stamp.
stamp right on the back of the thing.
Jeez, that's I love it. Kind of reminds me of the wing wall in Mooresville.
that's
that's
like
right.
Oh,
the
it does
wall.
actually, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And this
Cool.
is stored in the barn?
Right now, it's in our garage.
Okay.
I'm going to be pouring a kind of a 3-car pad in the barn here before too long. That'll eventually get closed in.
Oh, cool.
And that'll be the shop.
Cool.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
We got
That's awesome.
we got to record from the barn.
Yeah, I will be
man.
there.
Or in the
this,
bus.
Right.
This
We'll be there
fall.
soon, yeah.
This fall.
And the
in
bus.
In the bus.
In the bus.
The Bourbon Loft.
3 years from now.
The Bourbon Loft. We will definitely record
Okay.
up there.
Mm.
I like it.
Probably in the next few weeks, honestly, with the way the weather's going.
Yeah, no
That'd be great.
kidding.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it. All right. Excellent, guys. Love the samplers tonight. So we're going to come back to them and pick our favorites. Well, I guess they won't necessarily be our favorites, but it's time for last call.
Last call. All right, so not David. Who are you? You're Elton. No,
I'll
you're
be-
not even Elton.
I'll be Derek.
You're Derek.
Play the role of Derek.
David's having a little problem over
I'm
there.
sorry, I seized.
So Derek, from you, we need a place.
Yes. I'm going to go...
Oh, hold on a second.
all right.
My God, let me give the
I
directions.
just want to get stuff done. Check it out for the list.
David, person, profession, and ethnicity from Mr. Elton.
All right.
Okay.
I have a clarifying question.
Okay,
Is it a person or is it a profession?
let's go with person.
Okay.
Okay. Write it down or just give it to you?
You can give it to me, and then I will
Okay.
write it down.
I'm
How's
going to
that
do
sound?
Airport Lounge.
David?
John Travolta.
That kind of screws it up a little bit, doesn't it? Well, let's just pretend he's... Okay. Ethnicity, Portuguese.
It's a P.
It is a P.
You're so good.
I thought we were committed to this, boys.
Okay.
Was I supposed to do a P?
All right. So you're in the airport, and your flight's delayed.
Airport.
You're in the airport.
He was in Wisconsin this week.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Where's
why I
my
hate all of you.
cheese?
You're in the airport lounge.
Yes.
Lounging.
Yep. I'm going to add a little piece onto this. In the 1970s, you're delayed. And you're with John Travolta, who in that day was Portuguese.
just in the 70s. He converted in the 80s.
Was he still a great
Oh.
Was he still a great dancer?
Yeah, he was a dancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably peak.
I
Yeah.
think we've learned a little bit about the order of these questions.
Yeah, I didn't do so well with the Mad Lib tonight, so sorry. So you're in the airport lounge with John Travolta,
Portuguese version.
who's Portuguese at the time, 1970s. What's your last call?
Milk?
And why?
I'm
I
like
love
3
how
years
this doesn't
old.
make sense.
How does this even?
Ah, shit.
Okay.
All right, sorry, this was an epic fail. Just go with it. Come
We're
on.
going
with
All
it.
Why does it have to be so
I'm gonna
perfect?
All right,
go-
so we're buying drinks for
For God's
for
sakes, we were
John.
talking about Ben Franklin with a bow tie last week. Oh, no,
Thomas
it was
Jefferson.
a
It was
vest.
Thomas
Thomas
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Do you listen to these podcasts?
I don't know.
Major difference between the two of those guys.
So wait a minute,
All
so
right.
we're buying.
All right. I'm going to
For-
buy
for
John
John?
Travolta.
A Portuguese John Travolta, a bourbon in an airport
Airport
lounge in
lounge.
the 1970s.
Yes.
All right.
I am buying John Travolta Angel's Envy
Mm.
because of the wings in the back of the bottle remind me of the movie Michael that he was in.
Holy cow! You made that connection.
Right?
Wow.
That's pretty
I
phenomenal.
cannot breathe.
If I could throw this mic off the table, I would
But
drop
here's
it.
the thing: it's the 1970s, so I don't think he was in that
I
movie
would
yet.
say-
So you would say,
This would
John,
be-
I don't think you know what this
I will
means
be
yet.
the
but
inspiration for his
Wow.
Tramp
epic
stamp.
theatrical
sorry,
delivery.
that's hilarious. All right,
There you
so
go.
Angel
I'm Angel
Envy.
Envy.
Okay, David,
Rare breed all day long.
because
He's Portuguese.
And
Can handle the spice, the flavor, the boldness. He will be all about the rare breed.
all right.
Unlike some people from Wisconsin. Alton, what do you think?
You know what? I think I would be like 3 years old when I'm buying him this drink. So I'm trying to get my milk, please. Of these, with my boy John, I'd probably pick up a few dance moves.
That's
along-
Juan. That's Juan.
On Travolta. I think I might actually step out and go with the Bulleit. So my desire there would be to rock his socks and let him get a little dancing going on and get the hell out of my way so I could have a nice drink of rare breed.
Excellent.
So that's a bait and switch.
A bait
It's a
and switch.
bait and switch.
Yeah.
I like it.
And you,
Oh, I have
Kurt.
to
Kurt.
I made up this stupid story, so
Yes, you did.
I probably would go with rare breed,
Of course you will.
only because a Portuguese John Travolta is definitely a rare breed.
Absolutely.
So
There you go. That was good, Kurt.
I'd have to go that
That was
direction.
good. I like it. I like it.
You're not drinking it with him.
Hell
You're like,
no.
This tastes
So,
like metal.
I'd be like, here, this is for you, but I'm gonna have this.
I'm still shocked you don't like it. But
Whatever.
All right, well, we got to work on the last call a little bit. But,
Yeah.
gentlemen, it's been a great evening. Good to see everybody again. Glad everybody has
Absolutely.
safe travels. We will be back together soon.
Yeah.
For now,
Sounds good.
bourbon on.
Bourbon on.
Bourbon on.